Hello Eric, welcome to the stream. Stint 3 should start, I hope, in the next 5 to 10 minutes. We had quite a delay for the start of Stint 2 and the grid is now public, so drivers will get into the lobby shortly, and then I hope we're set to start on time. Be right back. And just in time we are back for Stint 3, Lobby 2. Hope you enjoy yourself in the stream so far. And with Nushal on pole position ahead of Confi and Johnny, we go into this race. Let's go. So Nushal leads the field in a Nissan. Then we have Confi so far in Stint 1 and Stint 2 that I drove. I didn't saw that car, so nice to see a new car as well. Everything looks quite structured and organized for the top 4, and now here we have a battle. Storchy against Bosworth in the hideous livery attempt, going down the inside, making a move stick. In P7 we have Georgie and then PG, 7, 8, 9 with Felix, then Amnael. I think that's a new driver as well, I can't remember that one. And in P11 we have Roy Calyptus. For some reason 11 started not 12, so I hope... Oh, we have the leader Nushal with a time penalty already. That will cost him the lead. Confi will take over. Johnny will have a look, but it seems like Nushal can hold that. He has the inside line. Johnny goes a long way around the outside, but is unsuccessful. Dennis in 4th position, really close. Georgie having Eric's Peachy in his rear mirror, and behind his contact on the straight line. Felix is giving Roy Calyptus absolutely no space. Yeah, completely unnecessary in my opinion. Roy Calyptus was over the white line. There was less than a car's width, and he had to brake on the grass. Yeah, okay, I have an opinion about that. Confi is, however, leading, and he and Nushal look quite comfortable there. Johnny is under pressure from Dennis. And the next few cars still really close. Mercedes is strong in slower corners, but it's still a heavy car, and apparently the Porsche has better acceleration, and Dennis makes a stick, breaks into the inside. Johnny has to go a long way around the outside, stays on track, and fairly so by Dennis, giving him the space he needs to survive, and with a fair maneuver Johnny gets demoted to 4th position. Dennis now on the podium position. Then we have Bosworth, quick driver. I assume he will have a word for the podium as well. Floshi. And we'll stay for a moment here with Georgie and Eric's. Mustang against the Lexus, and Mustang has quite a decent top speed, so it's not easy to overtake in general here, but if you're missing the top speed it gets more challenging. Small gap, then we have Roy Calyptus in the 9th position. Felix and Amnael 11 and 12. At front, no changes here. Confi is holding the gap. Then we have Nuschel, and I think that Dennis has managed to close the gap slightly. We will see what the strategies are. Nuschel in Stint 1 was pitting every 12 lap. Dennis pretty wide here, using everything the track has to offer, plus curbing, and it was tick too much. He's 1.2 seconds out of Johnny, so he needs to focus, bring the gap up slightly, and he maybe can stay ahead. If it's around 1 second, below 1.5 seconds, it can be quite tricky to hold that position. And in background we saw that Bosworth is already closing in on Johnny for P4. So it would be really great for Johnny to get a position here for free and bring back Dennis in between himself and Bosworth. Penalty area is approaching. Gap 1.3 seconds stayed the same, so it will be close. Here's the line. He's now deaccelerating, and Johnny is catching him, but it's not enough. Yeah, gap came down to half a second, so 3/4 second loss. Apparently Bosworth was a small mistake, because he used to be a little bit closer to Johnny. Yeah, nothing major here. We have Peachy, Storchy. So Peachy is ahead, then we have Georgie, who can hold the pace of the two in front, and then a small gap again. I think everyone is on soft tires. We had some starters with mediums, but for now it's softs only. And in the meantime, Nuschel closed the gap. No attack at this time because he is a bit too far behind. Yeah, I don't expect any hard maneuvers both race for Realistic Racing Club. They are in different teams, but yeah, it would make sense to hurt themselves. Most important thing is to get away as a team together from Dennis. So far this is working. After Dennis' penalty, the gap has rose 2 seconds. Johnny behind. Roy holding that contact to the group in front, not quite close enough yeah, to be really in there, and both GTF cars, Neo and Felix, back on the last position unfortunately. Again, it appears that Nuschel is the quicker driver at the moment. Taking a wide line here, not necessarily the closest way to get through this corner, but maybe tries to put as little work through the tires here. If we check, Nuschel has higher tire wear. And we have Dennis looking good. Johnny is slightly worse on Bosworth. Yeah, nothing too crazy between those 3 drivers. I expect a 3-stopper from them. Yeah, again, here's Doherty with a lot of tire wear as well. Peachy with decent tire wear. I wouldn't write off a 2-stopper at the moment here. Doherty, however, left that group, but Roy Calyptus joined them. Nice 3-way fight. We're staying with that for the moment. Roy with higher speed through the last corner in the slipstream of that Mustang, but that Mustang is so quick on down the straight line. And even with better exit, he can't make no small contact as Georgie either braked too early, but which is more likely Roy outbraked himself slightly. If you have the slipstream, if you have the tow, you need to brake. Slightly earlier, maybe that was the scenario. Luckily, no one lost real time here. I'm sure Peachy wouldn't mind if they would lose time. So we can disappear and look forward to get P6. Roy with trying to set up a move around the outside. Not on this occasion. Georgie is under a lot of pressure. The straight line speed of the Mustang is saving him. Obviously he pays the price for that in the corners. And it's great to see that P10 Amnael is joining in slow steps, but he's joining, he's getting there. We wait for turn 1 and then we look back to the front. What's the latest developments here? again, you can see that Roy is so much quicker through the last corners, but the top speed of the Mustang is not a match for the Honda. Corgi, however, goes defensive. In my opinion, it wouldn't be necessary really, as there is no chance that Roy can make a move from that position. Yeah, and no change here. We have Bosworth still behind Johnny, tire wear wise. Yeah, it's interesting. Johnny is more front limited, while Bosworth a bit more rear limited. Feels like it's a bit more even on Bosworth car overall rather than Johnny's. But this group stabilized itself quite a bit. Dennis is in front, Johnny in the middle, Bosworth behind. Each with around 1.3 seconds, pretty much dead on the same. The gaps. Then we have Nuschel in the lead. So there was a change. If we look at lap times, yeah, there's nothing too crazy here. Higher 44, but nothing too crazy. I think either Confi had a small mistake, or, which is more likely, they discussed that in party chat, and Confi gave Nuschel the opportunity and didn't work against his teammate, so to speak of. Georgie still ahead and still under a lot of pressure. Now this time Roy is as close as he never was. But he's losing a bit. You can see the gap. It was below 2 tenths. Now it's 2.5, 3 tenths. The Mustang is pulling away, but needs to pit soon, I think. There's not much left in the front left tire here. But definitely GG's so far for Georgie. He has a lot of pressure from behind, and he's not doing a foot wrong here. Now an opportunity arises. Georgie with a not so great exit, and Roy is looking down the inside. But the last corner isn't really an opportunity. Now Corgi hits the wall. I'm not sure if there was contact, and if there was contact, how big it was difficult to make out. I didn't hear a contact. Definitely a shame. Luckily, one can say that he would have pitted anyway, so he's maybe losing 1 lap with that damage. Amnail, nevertheless, now in 9th position, Roy in 8th, Eric's. And then we stay here. Oh, Dennis has a time penalty, so 1 second. That should put Johnny now into 3rd position. He's less than a second behind him. This is Johnny's opportunity to get that podium. Dennis fairly moves out of the way, off the racing line. So fair play. Johnny moves ahead. Dennis now in the middle here, and Bosworth still in 5th position. I think we can stay here bit longer. Pit stops are around the corner. In the next 2 to 4 laps, I expect them to pit. Bosworth is closing in, he's gaining slightly, but I'm afraid it's not enough to get side by side for the next turn. The Renault, yeah, it's not known for its amazing straight line speed, but definitely a great car in the corners. A lot of curbs from all three drivers. That is even using a bit of dust of the off track there. Really close. I think we can focus on this battle as Noshul and Confi are 5 seconds ahead, and pit stops will happen soon and can shake up this order. This time Dennis is slightly closer, he's gaining. Maybe this is enough for a lunge. Not quite. 210s. He could get alongside if he dares to, but a move would never work. So Johnny is still in that third position. Dennis P4, and I'm a bit surprised by Bosworth. I thought that he would have the pace to clear both cars and be on his way at this point to hunt down both RC cars in front. Tire-wise, I think Johnny should pit now. It's quite hard. There's no life left in the tire. He should pit, get the undercut from one lap and stay in front this way. A bit more on Dennis' car, and Bosworth tires doesn't look particularly great as well. So let's see who is going to pit and maybe get the undercut and who is going to stay out. Johnny's coming in. I think this is the right decision, compromising Dennis' last turn as well. Bosworth is staying out as well. So Johnny is getting the undercut, and Nushul is in the pit lane as well from the lead. Stop done. And now we see Way is going to come out. I think he's going to lose 2 more positions. We have Storchi in the pit lane and another driver. We will focus on us later. Ahead is Eric's Peachy and Amnail. He was in last position, now is in 5th position, and Nushul is behind. Then here we have Johnny. Where is Felix? No, Felix was in last position, my apologies, but Felix now into turn 1 gets the run. Where's Johnny? Already ahead by a couple of seconds. Then we have Storchi out of the pit lane in 9th position. Roy Calyptos was pitting and is ahead of Georgie. Georgie had to pit a bit earlier with the damage. I don't know what to hope. On one hand side, I don't hope that Georgie just did a mistake and crashed the car there. I don't want to hope that there was a crash between those two as well. So yeah, I think we will discuss that after the race. We still have to replay, and if there was contact, yeah, that is probably one of the easiest decisions to make, that penalty. Confi is staying out, 6 seconds ahead of Dennis. Interesting to see what his idea is. Dennis and Bosworth are pitting. Oh, Dennis was really wide there. He maybe crossed the yellow line, I'm sorry, and that could mean that this is a 3-second penalty, and we see that Bosworth saved 12 or 14 liters. So Bosworth already out of the pits. Dennis now, so Bosworth jumped Dennis in the pit lane. Amnaya, where's Johnny? Here is Johnny. Johnny should jump both cars. He stopped 1 lap earlier. Bosworth, where is he? He's out, he's accelerating. And Johnny is just ahead. Thanks to the amazing fuel saving strategy by Bosworth. He had so much quicker pit stop. Look at the gap to Dennis, it's 5.5 seconds. Okay, oh, Nuschel with a time penalty. He has traffic ahead, that's peachy. And to serve 1 second time penalty, that brings him also in the clutches of Amnael. I don't think there should be too much resistance or attacking from Amnael, as he is going to pit and he's aware that the guy in front is on better tires, but it doesn't even come to this as he's half a second behind. So what's going on here? We have Storchi in 7th position. So Storchi managed to jump Dennis as well. Dennis going through here. Bit aggressive. There was some contact. I think it was okay within the limits. But Dennis lost out quite a bit. If we look here at Dennis, I would say 70 liters. And Bosworth with 50, whereas Johnny 55. So Bosworth saved a lot of fuel, but refueled the smallest amount that's worth from all drivers. That's bring him into the advantage here. He has less weight put on the tires. He maybe has to stop earlier, but that's not too bad of a problem if he gets the undercut by 1 or 2 laps. And looking, whoa, Nuschel in the grass here. Nuschel 22 seconds. Last lap was even slower than Confi because he had to overtake Peachy, who's most likely going to pit in this lap. So one lap later than I anticipated, PHE is coming the pit lane, and so is Confi. Will re-enter the track in second position most likely. No, he's not. We hear the sound of Johnny's Mercedes and Eric's, Bosworth's. Renault will be close as well. No, easily in front. Hi Marvin, what do you mean, which other driver? Johnny was in third position. He stopped one lap earlier and managed a decent gap to Bosworth. I'm not sure if Bosworth's strategy involves constant fuel saving, but he's lacking pace, simply pace to Johnny. Johnny appears a bit quicker at the moment, which is surprising given the history of them. Bosworth should be quicker, to be honest. He's gaining slightly, but yeah, right now it's a bit more give and take. Confi's car is loaded up with fuel, so it's quite heavy. It needs some laps that you are getting the advantage if you stopped 2 or 3 laps later to the car in front. Bosworth. I think we can take a moment and go to Storchi for this gaming. Which, to be fair, that helmet is amazingly good. I really like that. So we go through the field. Nuschel is leading. 10 seconds ahead of Johnny. Both on a 3-stop. Then we have Bosworth with his personal best 44.7. We have Confi, who could be on a 2-stop. I think that's likely, yeah, he should be on a 2-stop. 2-stop is quick on paper. So, despite being only in 4th position here, don't write off Confi just yet. The race will come back to him. So, Storchi in 5th position, his tires are halfway through. With a very strong lap time, 44.1. Definitely quicker than Roy Calyptus the last couple of laps. We have Georgie here in P7. He should pit fairly soon. And here we have a battle, and he will stay for a while. Amnail is ahead in that Supra. Peachy follows him closely. Yeah, difficult for Peachy because the Supra is top speed monster, whilst the Lexus is more focused on cornering. So you have to stay close, push the other guy wherever you can, build up pressure, and wait for mistakes. If opportunities arise, it's mostly nothing you can grasp right away, but you have to send the other guy onto worst racing line and make something work out that the exit, prepare the next thing, and so on and so forth. But still quite challenging, but also fun. And the GTF car looks quite nice in my opinion as well. Something I missed, unfortunately, is Dennis, who has gone to medium tires. So, unique strategy here. So far, we have only soft in this race. Apart from Dennis, who's now on the mediums. He had pitted in lap 14, and had to pit again in lap 17. So something must have happened here and forced him to pit again. Yeah, that's unfortunate, and I'm sure Dennis is not happy with himself here. Felix in last position, and Nusha is collecting time penalties. Quick lap times, 43.9s. But also 45s around those times, so when he's quick, he's extremely quick, but then again he has some slower lap times in as well. Johnny is still in 2nd position. He's doing a great job in my opinion. Johnny's lap times consistent. His fast laps of 44.2 is also competitive. If we look at tires, yeah, Bosworth again better. And in the meantime, the fuel disadvantage Bosworth had disappeared. So they're pretty much even on fuel now, maybe 2 to 5 liters difference, nothing too crazy here. So I think Bosworth's strategy is not to stay too long in the pit lane, but rather use saving fuel as a strategy tool. We have Georgie in the pit lane, so we changed there. It's a second pit stop quite early, at lap 22, before the 40 minutes mark, so I think it would be best if he changes to medium tires at one point. Off he goes again. Here is Dennis. Dennis will get him, I think. Yeah, Dennis now ahead, has the long way around the outside. But it takes forever, it feels that like that, until you can accelerate freely. Now it's so late. So Georgie is back in 10th position, back on track. Felix in P11. So Nuschel leads, but loses quite some time. We saw the split time plus 1.3, 1.4. I think he has 2 more laps to go before he can pit. This lap 45.5. What's Johnny's time? 45.4, so there's nothing really in between those. Buffers 45.3 with a slower lap time. Not closing in on Johnny still. This race is a bit weird to me. I'm expecting something to happen, and it takes some time until it happens, so maybe we have to be patient for this one. And out he goes. Comfortably ahead of Dennis, who is on his way into the next lap now, and here we have the Nissan ahead of the Porsche. Nuschel's gap is getting smaller and smaller. Surprisingly, Johnny is not losing time, gaining a bit of time, if anything, and this is something unfamiliar from Stint 1, Lobby 2, where we had exactly the same situation. Nuschel was ahead of Johnny, both finished race behind each other. Nuschel in 2nd position, Johnny in P3, but this time it feels like that Johnny is closer to Nuschel. If Johnny is doing a better job now or Nuschel is slightly slower, it's hard to judge. We have Roy in the pit lane from softs to what? Finally out. We lose 1 position against Storchi. Storchi is now on the same level as him. Now it's surpassed him, and it's still a long way until he can accelerate freely. Hating the view. Steering is on the wrong side. Put it away, please. Good news for Dennis that Roy is so close to him. He has a penalty, and maybe Dennis can get a position here. It's a long race, remember. I think he can come back. Yeah, but Roy should stay ahead. Fortunate for Dennis, and then Dennis seems to be the quicker driver, but is on a slower tire, so I hope that it will be just enough that Dennis can catch him and we have a nice battle on our hands. We see that Roy has to slow down here. Dennis is closing in, but yeah, not even remotely close, unfortunately, for a move. Lap 25, and Nuschel is going to pit now. You can see the fuel is blinking red. There's not much left on the tires. Very similar situation for Johnny. here with Bosworth. I would say it's slightly different. It looks like Bosworth can do one more lap. The tires have it in them, so I think he can extend. And here we see Comfy. I haven't mentioned him in a while, but he has closed down the gap to the guys in front. It's only 2 seconds. Those are going to pit this or next lap anyway, as Comfy is mowing some lawn there. So there's no disturbance. Basically clean air for Comfy. That's exactly what you hope for. And we have Nushel in the pit lane. We have Johnny! No! That's 3 seconds. That has to be 3 seconds. He was over the line. But first we see Nushel. God damn it, Johnny. And Nushel gets out. No more position loss as no one is near the start finish line. Bosworth is in the lead ahead of Comfy. Here we have Johnny, he is underway again. Penalty is not shown so far. Yeah, but most likely that will happen when he exits the track. And Johnny, oh, that doesn't look good for him. One bit, he will lose positions. And if not, if he has a penalty, he will definitely lose position. No penalty. Excuse me? Okay. Don't understand why there isn't any penalty, but good for Johnny, I would say. He is under a lot of pressure now. PG is arriving quickly and he has the better momentum. Johnny has to cover the inside line. Send PG wide. PG has the heat in the tires and thinks better of it. Yeah, this is really one file. You can't go 2x2 there. And now Johnny has to make the best of this situation here. Get close to Amnail and get that position off of him. He can't afford to get stuck in traffic. Otherwise this guy Bosworth is going to be ahead, especially if he is going to underfuel the car. So he's in the pit lane. Here we have Nushel. Here is Amnail and Johnny. So still far away from turn 1. Johnny has 65 liters. How much fuel goes into the Renault? Bit less, I'd say 55 to 60, and that should be enough to stay ahead now. Where's Johnny? Middle of the straight. It's going to be close. Eric's now accelerating. Johnny, turn 1. Now he can free accelerate. That's enough for Bosworth. Johnny is in 4th position. Has the momentum though. The gap is half a second and it's closing down. Johnny could make a move. He has to vary how much risk this is worth. He is on the outside. Oh, that's a long way he goes there. The Renault is still in front. Johnny's now nudging ahead, but this is not quite enough. They somehow managed to get through. Maybe there was a small amount of contact, but both drivers managed to get through at the end, and Johnny has taken that position back with a lot of risk and maybe a small touch. Bosworth already showing himself. Yeah, he has 10, maybe 15 liters less weight in the car. That gives him the biggest advantage right now. The tire difference is now as important as it will ever be in the next laps. So this is really unfortunate for Bosworth. As Comfy, I didn't mention that Comfy is back in the lead, obviously, as Nushel pitted. Now both have one more stop to go, and Comfy's lead with over 20 seconds looks quite comfortable. Three, 4 and 5 really close together. Peachy will stay out for a couple more laps. Here we have Storchi in 6th position, 6 seconds ahead of Roy Calypto, and Dennis ahead of Georgie. So staying on this battle for now. Chad, what do you think? Is Johnny going to finish ahead, or is Boswell finishing ahead? Who's taking that 3rd position here? Curious to see what their plans are. Johnny had the undercut, which helped him tire-wise, but Boswell underviewed the car, which helped him to have a shorter pit stop, to have less weight in the beginning laps, but that comes with the cost, obviously, to save fuel. Oh no, Boswell went wide. There is potentially a penalty. Yes, it is half a second for the Renault. Yeah, bit annoying, but he will fight back from that, I'm sure. Peachy is still going strong in 5th position. But Storchi is closing in. Slightly better tire wear as well. And Roy Calypto's following suit. Oh, Dennis has now a lot of pressure from behind. Georgie was a couple of seconds behind. I'm not sure how many, but it definitely wasn't close. Now the Mustang is hunting that Porsche. Lap times are okay. 46 is low. 45 high. What can Georgie do? Yeah, 3/10 to half a second. He is quicker. Let's see if this is enough to make an overtake attempt. Hey there, Flipsy. Yeah, feel free to post a link. And please remind to vote fairly. This is important. As he mentioned it, let's go through the liveries. That McLaren from Confi, I think, is really beautiful. This Nissan, well made as well. Not quite my tasting, but definitely not bad. Decent as well. That's my creation. Then Bosworth, yeah, in whatever this is. The motto of Peachy's car was just America, as you can see. Then we have Liz Gaming, well-made 3-colored livery. Another livery of mine for the Subaru. This is a livery I really like. It's WSR's standard racing, and I think it is quite beautiful. Roadrunners with their same livery, again rocking it. And the GTF cars with similar but very beautiful liveries in my opinion. Although this BMW may not be the most beautiful car. However, the point stands, the livery is quite big. Storchi here. Self-made. Yep. No, I'm happy with that livery. Bit close towards the liveries I designed from DLL. Towards this, but yeah, it's quite different. The grey part on yours is much stronger. We haven't white, and I think you don't have black in. Similar, but distinguishable enough. So Georgie is pushing and getting a lot of overspeed. I think he maybe had to lift because he was going to hit the back, but not quite quick enough to make it in front. He's going to stay out for another 1 or 2 laps, so maybe he's thinking, okay, I'm going to pit soon anyway, I don't want to risk anything with a silly maneuver here. And I expect the 2-stopper Confi to be in the pits in about 5 minutes and the others in 10 minutes, and then they will go to the end. Confi's lead is 16 seconds, so Nuschel has brought that down quite a bit. Obviously different strategies are in place, and with 43.8 Nuschel is quite rapid. Johnny with a personal best, 44.1, doesn't have tied as well. And Bosworth still not getting close enough to Johnny. Those two have been like this since lap 2 or 3. Not to separate other photo laps when they pit, of course. Really close together. So Confi's tires are quite done. Yeah, 1.1 seconds already slower. He's looking for that pit stop window that's opening after 2 more laps. And where will he come out? 15:28 seconds, so he could come out around here. Johnny, Bosworth, and this time he should be quicker right from the get-go, because the tire wear on those guys' cars will be quite high. Storchi has closed the gap to Peachy. Peachy has to pit anyways now. Storchi can go. Oh, he's quite wide. 1 more lap, but so can Peachy. So I'd say we watch this and enjoy this battle going on. Storchi is closing in. The Nissan should have a bit stronger top speed. Now braking into turn 1. Track limits, okay. And with a strong exit, Storchi almost could go side by side. He's literally pushing Peachy up the hill. Different line, get the momentum. He wants to go on the inside. Peachy leaves the door open, is not fighting this. Overly aggressive, but stays ahead. Storchi has to slot in behind once more. But oh no, the door closed. That could have never worked. But I think both drivers are going to pit this or next lap. So Storchi with a strange line here. it can be really important to get ahead or stay ahead, because that's the position you are coming out after the pit stop. Back straight here. It's quite short. The braking zone isn't the longest. You can brake 150 meters. Well behind the 200, of course. So no, neither of them is going to pit. PG with a white line. Now it has to be done. Storchi with a lot more momentum. He has the inside line, outbrakes himself, so PG gets the inside line. Somewhat side by side. No, Storchi is now ahead. He has done it. A bit clumsy, it felt like. But he is through, and behind Royal Calyptos with a bit better tire, maybe he's going to extend one more lap, and then he has to pit as well. Those two will definitely pit, and so is Confi. He is going to come in very soon. Oh, look at this tire wear. There's effectively nothing left on this McLaren. He nursed the tires home. So, final pit stop for the Confi. Nuschel is going to get the lead back, but obviously he has to do a stop. And then it will be somewhat close for these guys. This takes a lot of fuel into this McLaren. That could cost him the 2 positions once more. Yes, both guys are ahead, already passed him into turn 1, so Confi's in 4th position once more, with quite a gap, to be honest. Seconds behind, 24 seconds behind Nuschel now, and Storchi and Eric's Peachy with half a second time penalty in the pit lane. Who's going to come out first? Storchi has more fuel, so he should be able to get out earlier. He does so now, but Peachy is doing the same. But it says Storchi is ahead. Let's find out if this is true. Yes. So PG lost the position and has a half second time penalty. Now up the hill, it's a race. Oh, PG almost going over the grass, pushing the car in front almost. Storchi is doing the right thing and covering the inside line, but not quite enough. Oh, there was almost a second move. I think if PG would send that in, there could at least be a warning, because Storchi covered the inside line. That's the first move, then opened up, completing that first move, and then closed that again, reacting to PG, and that would be blocking. Burn the penalty. Behind is Georgie, but the gap is too big to profit from that. So just stay in this order. So we have 27 minutes left to go. We have Nuschel in the lead with one more pit stop. Johnny in second place with one more pit stop. Bosworth with one more pit stop. and Confi, who should be the net leader, who should stay or come back into first position once everyone has pitted. We have Dennis now finally completing his medium stint. He went a long way on this tire, 20 laps I think, so that's 30 to 35 minutes. It's quite a bit, at least 35, and he will be very happy to switch back to a set of soft tires, losing a couple positions, no, one position, maybe two. Storchi and Rocoluptus are really close. It could be unfortunate for him. We have 7, 8, 9 and 10 in one picture, and neither of them has to pit. Perhaps Georgie has to pit, sorry. So, where is our medium runner? Here. Fuel almost completely done. Three seconds of pace to his personal best. That says everything about the medium tires and the conditions they are in. Moving in or late maneuver. Getting close to the line there as well, but he will know what he's doing. And now getting rid of those tires. Here we have this group coming through the last two corners. He is still standing, refueling. Oh, this will lose him. Yeah, he will lose all positions. Yeah, quite clearly a huge gap. So it's on him to close that gap. It will be a tough call. That's a long way. 3 seconds time penalty on top being almost 15 seconds. Well, this will, I don't want to say impossible. It will be a really tough challenge to get the position. Comrade has joined the room as Nushel has damage. So for some reason Comrade joined, doesn't have to bother us. Nushel with damage, that's front and right. I wonder where this is. Between the second to last and the third last corner, you could lose traction and hit that side of the barrier. Other than that, I don't really see a spot where you can hit the track limits and get away, or get that damage, but get away with still a decent lap time. Unfortunately, I missed with all the things going on that Bosworth got past. 45s for him and 46s, so Johnny lost a bit of pace, and that's the reason Bosworth got finally by. So this corner is the one I meant. Maybe Nushel can clear that one up. But now it's time to pit for him. Oh, he's way off. Yeah, that's definitely a 3-second time penalty, and that will bring him in danger for Bosworth, maybe even Johnny. So I expect to close to wall as well. I expect that Confi will be in the lead by at least 20 seconds now, and he should stay in the lead if nothing goes wrong. Here we have Nushel. Then we should have Bosworth, correct? And Johnny Bosworth and Nushel with the same amount of fuel, but Johnny with about 10 liters more. It's quite a bit. Here we have Amnail. I didn't even show too much of him, but he had a very strong race. Not with the same pace as the top. Well, to be fair, he has similar pace to the top guys. Not falling off too much, and coming back from a low starting position. So a great race from him. So Nushel definitely going to lose that second position to Bosworth. That was not in the books. He was leading by more than 10 seconds, and that mistake cost him dearly. Fortunate for him, it was that close to his pit window anyway. But that hurts. Where is Johnny? Johnny's way off, so Nushel will stay ahead of Johnny for sure. Burning the penalty on the racing line. Come on. Come on, that's not cool. Not that it was dangerous, but yeah, you should move out of the way if someone is that close behind you. So we have Johnny in 4th position and Nushel. Yeah, that's going to be the question. Can he recover? Can he attack Bosworth and get that second position back? Looking at Amnail, he is going to pit this lap. I won't say probably next lap, but he goes in this lap with 20 minutes to go. That's a better call, I think. Not too much of focusing on tire wear has to be made now with 20 minutes to go for him. And then we have this group. We have Storchi in 6th position, Roy Calypto, Peachy, Georgie with one more stop to go, and here we have Dennis quite a bit off, still with 15 seconds, so a long way for him. Amnail finally out of the pits and just ahead of Dennis. Dennis' tires are a bit worn, but not too bad, so I think Dennis has a shot to attack Amnail here. So that's could be an interesting battle. So Confi touching the wall almost here, squeezing out everything. Bosworth, Nushel Johnny is still very interesting here. Then Storchi slightly ahead, but this group in general is quite interested. Nothing set in stone here. Then we have a small gap with Amnail and Dennis. Now is under pressure. That's right, on board. I think that's best. Camera out of Porsche, really good in the slipstream. Now he has to move out. No, he stays on the line. I thought changing the line and making a move down the inside would have been the decision. Again, getting close, but ultimately not close enough. He needs to keep this high pressure up. Oh, this can never work, and that unsettles the car quite a bit. Keep the pressure high, force him to use everything he has. Not looking at anything on his tires, on his fuel, looking in the rear view mirror. Yeah, again, like this, I'm gonna touch the grass, unsettle the car. Giving 3 fuel once more, Boswell 1.8 ahead of Noshel. Who's on the way on a personal best, looking at the first sector time. Georgie in the pit lane, we'll go to that later. Johnny a bit out of the contention for a podium position, being 3 seconds off. Storchi, Roy and PG. Yeah, that stretched out, unfortunately, enough so we can't expect a change for position coming up soon. The hottest battle is this one. P8 wouldn't be quite redemption for Dennis after that additional stop. But yeah, it sounds less painful to get 8th position rather than 9th position. Again, getting a bit sideways there. He's pushing up Porsche to the limits and beyond, and Amnail has to do the same with his Toyota Supra. Dennis, quite a different style, a bit more early to the apex and more V-shape, and Amnail looking for a later apex, a bit more rounded, so different driving style. I think one could see that with that corner quite good. Quarter hour to go. Dennis is pushing, Amnail is covering the inside line. Maybe with a better exit, Dennis can push the Toyota up the hill. It is extremely close. Looking for the slipstream and hoping that the car in front gives enough. Is dragged down by the air resistance. But it's not quite possible. Dennis, Porsche apparently not quite quick enough. He has a really strong exit, he's really close. This could be the best opportunity so far. Yep, he goes for it. Goes a bit wide. Amnail needs to open the door. Yeah, but he does it quite aggressive, but not unfair. Amnail played along, and that's a great maneuver we saw there. apparently no chance to recover from that and take the position back, so we move a bit in front. This is still close, but not quite close enough. We stick with this one as Nuschel has closed on the gap. Minutes to go, most likely 6 laps here in that third stint. And Nuschel is pushing, has the inside line. Bosworth is wide, is not fighting it really, and Nuschel moves back into position and has done it. So Nuschel's mistake with damage plus crossing the line in the end cost time but no position. And Bosworth's fight will not be rewarded with the second position, but nevertheless it's a podium for him. He was most of the time in 4th position, so I think he can be pleased with his race. I'm not sure if saving this much fuel is the best strategy, or if that slowed him down overall the race. He would know best, but given what he did on driving on track, this was really a solid achievement. Calypto and Storchi is the closest battle we have left on track. PG with 3.5 seconds. Would like to get into that battle, not quite so far, unfortunate for him. But one never knows. Maybe those two guys are getting into a fight, battling it out, and suddenly they lose half second there, a second there, and Peachy can join that fight for that position. It's P7 for Peachy, but it could be P5. That's not out of question. Extremely wide there, Roy Calyptos. The track was already over the curb as well, and that's why has been given a half second time penalty. So that takes away a bit of the suspense, and I hope that we see a nice last battle for position here in the dying laps of this third stint. And suddenly it used to be 3.5, now it's 1.5 in front and 1.5 behind for Roy. And now I'm back, and we just witnessed that Roy is making a move on Storchi. Down the inside, he managed to do it. Now Storchi has a better run, looking this way than the other. Fighting to get that 5th position back. Does not have given that up. Good overspeed. He has to go the outside way. This is not going to work now, but he prepares the first part of the chicane to get a better exit. And unfortunately for him, that is not paying off. Yeah, if you look at the slides there, Storchi's tire, the front left is dead. There's nothing more this tire can give you. It is completely gone. And very most likely PG will take this invite and takes that position from him as well. A reminder for the viewers here in chat, Flipsy posted the link for the vote livery of the day in our Discord. So would be very appreciated if you credit the livery creators with voting for the livery you think is best. You would have 3 votes, and yeah, would be very nice if you would take that 1 or 2 minutes that would take time. Go through the field with not much time left. Confi's tires are dead, but the end is near, and the next 3 minutes is going to survive for sure. Nuschel, oh come on, Nuschel with a time penalty. He's losing the 2nd place once more. Bosworth is again in that 2nd place. Johnny not far off, but Nuschel for the 2nd time now. Thanks due to a time penalty he has to serve. He's losing that. Oh, now Bosworth, come on guys! You're kidding me. You are, yeah, he's shaking. He is clearly not happy, and understandably so. He got 2nd place served on the silver tablet, and he threw it away. Where's Johnny? 2 seconds behind. I don't think that Johnny can profit from this, unfortunately. It's quite too much. Here we have Storchi defending against Peachy, and this is the beginning of the end for Storchi. He will drop down. I don't see him holding him off. In the background we have Dennis, impressively from 15 seconds down. He managed to get down to 6, and maybe he can reward himself with 1 additional position. I think Storchi will fall like a stone. You see almost 47s, 48 lap times. This is a 48. Back to the front, Nuschel. Here we have Bosworth, now with a 1 second time penalty. So in addition to the first half a second time, he picked up another half a second time penalty, and that will cost him 1 second. And that settles it. P2 is out of the way. That's Nuschel's territory now, and Johnny's closing in, not quite enough, but he's in within a second. So Johnny's suddenly there. He was out of the picture for that podium spot, it seems, and now things are opening up again. It's clear that Confi is going to win this thing, but 2, 3, and 4 have been very chaotic in the last laps. Moving through the field once more, Storchi still somehow holds himself in that 6th position. Peach is looking this way and that way. Maybe now a decisive move on the inside, not quite. But Storchi barely gets traction down. And Peachy surely will think about something. Late on the brakes, or maybe Storchi needs to brake quite early, that's the difference. And Peachy got through Storchi. No, Can't make another attempt here to recover from that, lost the position. And Dennis with 3 seconds to go. Can't make anything because those guys are going to finish now in lap 50. Timer's running out. Exactly now we have reached the end of the race, and luckily for Storchi and quite unluckily for Dennis, the race is over. Roy Calyptus, the first one to finish the race. Then we have Peachy, Storchi, Dennis in 8th position. Let's go to the front. Nothing is going to change here apparently. No time penalties this round. And it used, this race used to take its time, but at the end it was quite interesting. And Confi crowns himself the winner of this stint with 24 seconds. He wins the stint, and Nuschel in 2nd position is coming home under a lot of pressure though. So Nuschel in 2nd position, Harrison 3rd, Johnny, and 2, 3, and 4 covers only, what is it, 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds at the end. So that was quite an entertaining race, I'd say. Waiting for Felix. It's coming home. Now penultimate corner, final corner. And now he managed the stint as well. Congratulations to all 11 drivers. Very most likely you did good job for you today. And setting the replay. And now showing the results. Take a look. And now to 2nd page. Yeah, this was stint 3. We're going to have a short break. And then we are back for the final and 4th stint. I hope you enjoyed that stint. Cheer me on. I'm going to drive in stint 4. And see you then. Thank you very much for tuning in. Goodbye.